Right, guys, welcome back. This is Above Average FPL. My name's Adam. This is game week 17, team selection. I'm with Baker, as always. How you doing, mate? You well? You good? You
Good,
ready?
mate. I'm good. Almost. Are you ready for Christmas?
Almost. I say I'm almost ready. We're going to be driving south tomorrow afternoon, so lots of stuff going on around the house. Trying to get this done. Talk about FPL, get the team settled, get it sorted, and then because I'm going to be literally driving through the deadline, and I don't think the wife will be too happy if I say, well, could we plan a service stop around about 10:50, please? That'd be wonderful. But it's possible. I could do it.
It is possible, and it's safer than driving with a family at deadline.
Yes.
Um, for those, we've got a worldwide audience, and that. How many miles is it to drive south for you
It's
over
about
the next weekend?
500. It's literally
500
like,
miles.
yeah,
Miles.
yeah, 500 miles, which is what, 800 kilometers.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
and you'll do that over how long?
we drive down tomorrow evening and we'll stay over. So we do it Friday evening, Saturday morning.
Fun games.
Mate, it's not fun. It's miserable. It's dark. It's crap weather. It's shit roads. It's
Full car.
full car, full of stuff, full of kids, all that stuff.
Good.
Good. Sort of. So yeah, getting the team sorted now would be good. Would be helpful.
Yeah.
Pulled the trigger early on transfer, and now I'm sort of missed an opportunity on another one. So I need to have a look and make sure that I don't need to basically jump ship and on a different player, or if I can just leave and roll a transfer.
Got a wine. Got a wine for the evening.
That is, I've got orange juice and lemonade in an above average tumbler.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, just on the tumbler point of view, I gave away some coasters last week or the week before. I gave away like 10 sets on X. Big giveaway, 10 sets. And every time we send something out, I leave one of these. Okay? It just basically says, thank you for your continued support of Above Average FPL. We really appreciate it, which we do. On the back of two of them, I wrote, you've won a mug, DM me, and you've won a tumbler, DM me on two of them. No one's DM me yet. No one's messaged me. So if you receive one in the last week and it has a little personal message on the back of it, handwritten in crap pen, then there's a mug and a tumbler out there. But I was hoping that I was going to send it before Christmas, but I'm not going to be able to do that now unless somebody messages me today.
That's funny. Fella in the chat says, little savvy bee, Baker. It is a savvy bee, actually. I went downstairs. Eddie is having a play date, and the two mums are down there. And I was like, do you fancy some wine? And they were like, yes. Open the savvy bee. And I was like, I'll take a glass for myself and go and lock myself in my room again and pod.
I've actually got wine here. I've got red.
Wow. It is Christmas.
It's Christmas. Although I'm not. Just go straight out of the bottle. Straight out of the bottle.
Down that tumbler, mate. Off we go.
It's got like orange juice and lemonade. I could put red wine in there. I mean, if it's good enough for that, it's good enough for wine.
Multi-use tumblers.
Exactly. Adam says, "Get on with it, lads." Well, mate, Adam, if you want, mate, just chuck your questions in and we can answer them. That's fine.
We can. Get
on with it.
What are we doing?
We're looking at the teams. We're looking at the games. Rob T's graphics, and then we're going to look at our teams, and then we're going to disappear because we're going to get on with it, as Adam has said.
Marvelous.
Before we do that,
admin, thank you, Crypto Dan. We love you.
Before we do that, Matt's dropped a super chat. Good lad. Thank you, Matt. That's a couple of beers, or maybe one and a half beers. So Matt B, thank you very much. Merry Christmas, boys. Thanks for brightening up our FPL year. We aim to please, mate, whether it's me triple captaining for a million points or whether it's me transferring out players for who get a million points. We're here for both sides of it. That's what we do.
There.
So thank you to everyone that's joined us in the chat. Hope you're having a good week. It's almost Christmas, as you said earlier. So everyone's just ready for that. And thank you to everyone that's joining us over on X as well. There's a bunch of people over there watching. If you're watching on both, then cool. And if you're listening back on audio, thank you very much for listening back to us. If you want to see more of our content, hear more of our content, make sure you do the necessary stuff, the likes, the comments, the subscribes, and all that jazz. And we'll be very grateful. We'll be very grateful. So let's look at the games.
I mentioned something to you earlier, but I've only just noticed it. But I looked at this originally. I was like, oh, there's not as many goals this week. And then this is quite important in a way because it does impact like how we pick our teams. But we have a weird moment where Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, and also Newcastle are all playing at home in the same game week and then all playing away in the same game week. Like you want some kind of like variations because that helps you with captaincies. We all like a home captain and so forth. But they're all away this week. So guess what? The predicted goals for everyone is down a bit. Um, and then the really interesting one is then you go to Boxing Day and they're all at home. So next week in the game week, you've got Chelsea home to Fulham, you've got Liverpool home to Leicester, you've got Man City home to Everton, you've got Arsenal home to Ipswich. Like it's big. Newcastle home to Villa. So yeah, sort of the teams they're probably the favourites of the top five of those, and they're all on the same schedule. In fact, Liverpool and Man City's schedule of home away mirrors itself until they play each other in game week 26.
Fair enough.
So, but when you think people are thinking of obviously Salah and Haaland, if you've got them both in the same team, that doesn't dovetail anywhere near as much. You know what I mean? We're golf boys. You don't want to play when you're playing four balls. You both birdie the same hole.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you want some dovetailing, and actually, it almost doesn't play into that strategy of having all of these guys. Um, it does make things really interesting because I'm sure a lot of people are with Haaland are eyeing up that captaincy against Everton, thinking that's a good fixture, and they're eyeing up, probably even more so the captaincy maybe away at Leicester and then the home at West Ham. I do think, again, it's Christmas, so people aren't going to catch everything, but I think you can skip the home Everton one, but the away Leicester home whenever all the other big captains are away is definitely interested in 19, and the home West Ham is probably a little bit more interesting because the home fixtures the others are not so good. Um, but this week you look at it and you're like, well, you couldn't cap Haaland away at Villa, could you? Really?
No, there's far better options. As far I still don't trust it. And
Nah,
as much as I hate him, I mean, the thing is, like, I feel like Villa will concede because they don't keep cleans, right? We know that they don't keep cleans, but Martinez has it in him to be a real pain,
yeah,
and so there is the possibility that it's just one goal. It could be two goals. I mean,
mm,
I still don't feel comfortable with the way that City team are attacking either. Still doesn't look like it's quite
no.
clicking together, and they still don't quite know where they're supposed to be at the moment. Um, whether it's
Early in the season, this has been a great one because we talk about like the high line, and obviously De Bruyne was back and he was playing Haaland in behind, and it was
absolutely,
fantastic. This would have been like a slam dunk, and we're definitely still going to face into at some point. It's all going to click, isn't it? Is Pep saying again this week is I'm doing a bad job basically, and I've got to find the solutions. Um, it's
he
just whether he can
does.
find solutions within like the short period of days before next game, next game, next game.
Yeah.
Maybe this has been the week though, because obviously most teams have played midweek um, in the Carabao, and he is not. So it is the most fresh of the big teams.
Yeah, I still don't. I still think the when you look at the fact that Arsenal played a pretty much fully rotated side, and Salah was rested in the week, there's still better players elsewhere. I
Yeah,
mean, the Arsenal attack. We'll talk about that in a minute, because there might be a new man on the menu there just in time for Christmas. But yeah, I still think that there's better options. There's better options elsewhere because whilst, as
yeah,
we say, like yes, City are rested, but yes, Saka is also rested. Salah
and
is
Villa
also
arrested.
rested, and Villa are rested. Yeah, there's
And they
that as
haven't
well.
had much of a rest, have they? They've been literally playing, playing, playing. So,
Yeah, yeah, back to
mm.
back. Just wanted to say, Owen Watkin has dropped us a super chat. Thank you, Owen. He says, spend Christmas Day with Andy Martin or take a -12. I'd spend it with Andy.
Absolutely.
He's the kind of guy that around the Christmas table it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
It'd be
He'd wear the
absolutely
hat.
hilarious.
He would have no qualms about the hat. He wouldn't like keep sneaking it off when no one's looking. It'd be like, hat, I'm on it.
Yeah, and It'd be there if anyone's not wanting to read their joke. Like he's on it straight out of the Christmas
Yeah.
cracker. He's mine. I'll read it. I'll get that. Um, Yeah. So I mean, yeah, as you say, one thing that does stick out as well. There's no teams here above 40% from a clean perspective.
Not
So it
one.
doesn't really look great. In fact, the lowest expected goals from any team is 0.98.
Mm.
Like, there's
Story of the season, though, isn't it? It's still goals, goals, goals.
yeah. So I was going to say making defender transfers is probably not the priority, but there are a couple of fixtures that look okay, and fixtures beyond obviously just this week as well. You're looking, particularly at that Fulham run, even Chelsea, and
Yeah.
yeah, to some extent. I mean, to some extent, you wouldn't want to be moving on your city defenders now as well if you
I
had
think the
them.
good part is we have all heard it that way a little bit to an extent. In you've got Hall at Newcastle,
Hmm.
31%. That's a good chance, a high upside attack with a decent chance for clean. Tick tick. Thanks very much. Most people have got at least one Arsenal defender. Robinson's obviously on the menu for a lot. Spoiler: I moved early on him Sunday night, as I said. Chelsea, it gets a little bit once it gets 34%. I'm like, yeah, that old one third of a chance of it. But quite a few people have got Colwill, Cucurella, those guys, Sanchez, obviously in goal. And actually, Man United defence is relatively well owned. So I think most people have already started herding towards the defences. And Ait Nouri's obviously sped that up by
Yeah,
getting out of everyone's teams. And then you've obviously got Liverpool, which is the best attack, but they're away from home. Even still, I think 20% away at Tottenham's a pretty good odds. um, and obviously there's definitely high upside plays for those with Trent.
yeah, yeah. It's funny. It's funny actually. It's funny looking. I'm just looking back at that Villa number, that 17%. And
Mm,
because somebody was mentioning about Martinez obviously being like FIFA Keeper of the Year, Yasin
yeah,
Award, or whatever, all this sort of stuff. Last year domestically, he's kept one in six cleans,
yeah,
literally 1 in 6. So this is the best keeper in the world, and this is what you expect from him on a weekly basis, essentially.
yeah, yeah. I
Doesn't
mean,
feel very good.
it's not good. It's not good. Um,
The
I feel
Brent,
like we talk about Rico relatively regularly,
Same.
but which defenders would you which defenders would you bench for playing Rico this week? So Ipswich, yeah. Palace, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't.
Probably Man United defender I would bench if Rico was leaked. I don't think there's a Man United player, even like a Masraoui or something like that. I don't think there's any of those that I would play over Rico. I think that's close enough.
I think it's close, but I think both of them have like minutes risks. We know that. I mean, when I say
Yeah,
Man
yeah, yeah.
United, I mean like the whole defense is a minutes
But
risk.
it, yeah, exactly. So,
You
so,
don't know which
so
ones
if
are
you
going to
get, if you
start, and then you
get,
don't know which one's
but the
going to come
good
on.
thing about City is that it's the first game, so we'll probably get a leak that Rico is playing. So if Rico gets leaked playing, I
Yeah.
mean, it won't be so good for you because you'll be traveling. But I will
Oh,
message.
mate, my wife will be making transfers on my behalf. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd play him over Man United. I'd play him over Brentford. I'd play him over West Ham or Brighton defence. I'd play him over Everton defence. Um, would you play? Well, I'll ask you the question because you've got him. Would you play Rico over Porro if he was leaked to start?
I mean, you know what I've done. You know what I've done. I don't hedge, so you know that I've benched Porro
Ah,
because I've got
you bench
Salah.
Porro because you had Salah.
Because I've got Salah. Yeah.
Let me tell you about that though. Are you captaining Salah?
No.
So the hedge is to play Porro because you're not going to want Salah points because he's more than 100% owned.
Hmm.
Checkmate.
Hmm. In fact, that's not even a hedge, is it? That's actually not even a hedge. It's
It's the
actually the
opposite
opposite
of
of a
hedge.
hedge
It's the opposite of
because I
hedge. It's
don't want
what
him to,
it's differential. Imagine if Porro cleans and you have him and you don't captain
and
Salah.
don't cap Salah. That'd be incredible. That would be incredible.
I love
I have
doing
to think
these.
about that now. I have to think about that now. You got me worrying. But again, yeah, I mean it's over Rico because I've got
Yeah.
obviously Hall and Gabriel.
And for me with Colwill, I'm really torn on Colwill versus Rico. Really torn. Because Colwill, it does feel very much 2 or 6. If they clean, the chances it's him when Cucurella is. Oh, Cucurella's banned
Yeah,
though, isn't he?
Cucurella's banned,
Hmm.
so it might be him.
It might be him on bonus if they do get it. But you do still always think Jackson and Palmer and Enzo are like so good. Like in terms of their baselines are all well, Enzo and Palmer's baseline is great. Madueke's isn't too bad.